All right, so it's time for us to head down for Sick Week 2026. We're in Nashville area, so got hit with a huge ice storm probably about a week or two before, and it was hell getting ready for this event. But as you can see, we got everything cleaned out and loaded up. The truck's ready to go. We thought after leaving Nashville that it would clear up some, and it did a little bit, but we also caught some snow in Georgia. But we finally made it down to Sick Week 2026. And basically, it's 4 tracks within 5 days. If you race at the first track, 2 days or 3 days actually in this because there's a day zero. But basically, this is just going to cover how the first day went, and we'll have a few other videos that come along after this. Okay, so we got in pretty late, washed the truck off, met up with our buddy Pete that's doing the event with us in his red Dakota. And this is pretty much going to pick up from day one. We didn't film anything really for day zero because that was basically just getting everything situated and getting through tech, which we had no issues with. So this is picking up day one, and this is going to be at Gainesville Raceway. And these are just some of the awesome cars that we got to cruise in with in the morning. And basically everybody's already teched in and ready to race. So basically it's show up and make your run. So we've made it to the racetrack. So the first thing we've got to do is the drivers meeting. It's pretty much just short, sweet, and rules if anything's changed, just to give us a heads up if there's any issue with the routes or anything like that. Now after this, you've got just a few hours, and you have to put your race rig up. You can't touch the race rig after that. So whatever parts you need, spare parts, tools, whatever, you have to have them. You can't go back to the rig after a certain cutoff time. So we get all that situated, and then basically it's just time to get ready to race. So we both are D-class, me and Pete. So it's my 94 Chevy C1500, and I think his is a 97 or 98 Dodge Dakota. So basically, we're in D-class. We can't run faster than 11.5, or we can't turn it in as a good slip. We can get it 20, but can't actually run off of that time for the dial your own, which is basically you want to run as close and as small of a spread the whole week. So you basically want to keep running 11.5 every day or 12.0 every day and keep it as tight as you can through all 4 tracks. So not as easy as it looks. We headed to the lanes to make our first hit, and basically with the truck, with as good as the altitude was, this truck is normally on a 200 shot, so we backed it down to just 100. So basically that should be somewhere around 540 to the tire at around 4,400 pounds. And we're basically trying to run as close to 1150 as we can without going over. But this day was a little tricky because with the cold weather they had in Florida, the altitude was negative 2,000 something feet. So just unreal air, and everyone was going much faster. But we thought we nailed it with taking the 100 shot out of it. Honestly, thought that this thing was going to run right at like 11.6 or 11.7. But let's see how this plays out. right, guys, first day of sick week. We ran, you guys can see that, an 11.324 with 100 horsepower taken out of the truck. So that's not gonna cut it. So what we're gonna have to do is go back up, make a run, and slow it down even more. And there's still more in it, so that's what we're waiting for. All right, so first off, our buddy Pete with running an 11.7, he nailed it. That is really where you want to be, towards the top of the pack as far as being quick, but not so close to the 11.5 cutoff that if you make a small change, you get a time slip that's too fast that you really can't turn in and be competitive. And that's where we are. It was really awesome to take 100 horsepower from the truck and it run that quick still, but basically we have a time that if we turn it in, it gets counted as a 20. So we can still finish and say we finished sick week, but we're not competitive. So basically at this point, what we do is we take out another 50 horsepower so that we know it's going to run somewhere, probably closer in the middle 12s or low or high 11s. And we go back up and they've already shut the lanes down for our class. No problem. We go back to the pits and wait for them to call us. Well, that's where this gets a little bit more negative. We waited at the track until 9 o'clock and still did not get a run. So concluding the first day, basically the truck has ran awesome, but we're not really in competition at this point. Now it's basically just to see if we can make it every day to say that we can finish, which is still a big feat, but obviously you'd want to be more competitive. Also, too, it's awesome when you go with your friends, because in this situation, although you may not be in, at least your friend is. So that still, helps you be a little bit more on the competitive side, because of seeing how they're doing and getting them to place higher. But that was it for the first day. A lot of excitement, but at the end, it was a little bit of a letdown. But basically at this point, it was time to pack up, start making our checkpoints, and go into the next track for the next day.